Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit of a declutter with me. So I want to kind of start this series on my channel and I want to call it Curating My Collection. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, which sounds lame that I think about makeup this much, but I feel like I'm at a point with my collection where I need to be very selective about what I'm keeping and what I'm bringing in, because I definitely have all the basics and I have more makeup than I will ever use, but I love makeup, so I'm going to keep buying makeup, but I want to keep my collection to a manageable size. So for the first kind of video in this series, it's going to be a declutter. So I went through my collection, I picked out some products that I'm just not using, and yeah, I wanted to share them with you guys. So if you want to see what I'm decluttering, just keep watching. Alright, so I do have quite a few products, so I'm going to run through these kind of quickly just so this video isn't too crazy long. So the first product is this NYX palette, and I don't know what the name of this palette was. It came in like a set with like an eyeliner and something else, I think, like a lipstick. And I've decluttered the eyeliner, I've decluttered the lipstick because it was like really cool toned and that wasn't what I was into at the time. But I've held on to this palette because it has some really beautiful jewel tones. I love the colors in this palette, like love, love, love them. And as my collection's grown, the really only unique color in here is this kind of green shade. And it's a really pretty color. But the formula, it's pigmented, but it blends... Oh, I just jabbed myself in the eye. It's pigmented, but it really blends away super easily. Like, it's almost nothing on my hand. So, like I can pack this all over the lid or smudge it on my lower lash line, but as soon as I go to blend it out, it kind of just blends away. So the quality is not great on this, and honestly, I think I'm just going to get like a ColourPop single or a Makeup Geek single and in this color and just kind of replace that in my collection. So yeah, the formula is on the mattes in this palette are also really nice, but again, I have these mattes in other palettes, so I don't really feel the need to keep this one. Alright, another palette that I'm decluttering. I'm actually decluttering quite a few palettes, which is kind of a big deal for me because I love eyeshadow palettes. I hoard them. But I'm also decluttering the Carly Bible palette by BH Cosmetics. This palette is pretty, but the formula is just not what I thought it would be. I was really disappointed by the eyeshadows in this palette, actually. Highlighters are beautiful. I thought about keeping the pink one. This one's a tad bit too dark for me, but if I mix these two, it's really pretty. But I already have a pink highlighter in my Flower and Strobe kit. It's that middle one right there. That's beautiful, and I really love the formula on that one. So it's not really worth it to me to keep this whole palette just for the highlighter. The shadows are okay. The shimmers I have the strangest experience with. They like migrate into my crease throughout the day, even if I just put them on my lid. And I find that the mattes, while they do blend easily, they're just not that pigmented. So I'm definitely passing this along. So the next thing that I'm decluttering is a lippy stick from ColourPop, and this is in the shade I Heart This. Now I'm partially decluttering this because I have other lipsticks in this color. And I prefer the formula on those, and also this is extremely old, so this really needs to go in the garbage. Another product that I'm decluttering is this Avon Extra Lasting Eyeshadow Pencil, and mine is in the shade Amethyst. I bought this because Emily Noel 83 raved about these, and at the time I was really into cream shadows and taupe, but honestly, I think I've worn this like 3 times, and it's old and it just needs to go in the garbage because it is definitely expired. So yeah, I'm not getting any use out of this, so this is gonna go bye-bye. Next items I am decluttering are actually some sponges. Now, these sponges are from Ulta Beauty. I think I got them in a 2-pack and it was like 10 bucks. They're very soft, very squishy. They like get bigger when you get them wet. My only gripe with them is that they, well, A, they're hard to clean because they're white, and B, they soak up a lot of the product that you're trying to apply. So I feel like I don't get as much coverage out of the products that I use when I use these sponges compared to like when I use my Real Technique sponges. The next product that I'm decluttering is this little pigment from Naked Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Sierra Nevada. It's a really, really, really pretty color. Very pretty. It's like a really nice coppery shade. But the only reason I'm decluttering this one is because that I find once it's on the eyes, it looks very similar to my L'Oreal Amber Rush, and I much prefer the format of that one. I don't think it's nowhere near as messy as this one. It performs a lot better wet too, or over like a glitter primer. It doesn't swatch so well, like just dry. The next 2 items that I'm decluttering are these little Morphe shadows. Now this is in the shade Bam, and this is in the shade Sapphire. These are very old, and honestly I don't get a whole lot of use out of them, and I have these colors in other palettes, the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe, And I just think that the formula on the other shadows that I have in these shades are better, so there's really no need for me to keep these. Next, I am decluttering the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Bad to the Bronze. Now, this is a beautiful shade, and I do really like this product, so I may repurchase it down the line, but I don't use this product, and it's pretty much dried out. I mean, if I try really hard, I can get some pigment up, but it's old, it's dried out, it just needs to go. I'm also decluttering this little palette from Ulta. I believe it was a freebie that I got, like a gift with purchase. I mean, it's a pretty palette, but the formula is nothing to write home about. I tried to use it while I was traveling, but I feel like the shadows don't really have enough pigment to create a lot of different looks and create a lot of dimension on your eye. The highlighter, I really do not like the texture on this one. It's just not my favorite. It's really like a yellow gold. The blush is nice. That's pretty much the only reason I was keeping it, and that's kind of a ridiculous reason to keep it. So I'm going to pass this one along. I'm also decluttering my e.l.f. tinted lip balm that is so worn and loved that you can't see the top anymore. And this is in the shade Berry. I love this lip balm. I've loved it for a really long time, but it's extremely old, and with these like pot lip balms, I just feel like it's time to throw this one away because of all the bacteria that I'm sure is floating around in there, so this one's gotta go. Next, I'm going to declutter the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, I believe this is called. I picked this up last summer when I was on the hunt for a good concealer from the drugstore, and this one really disappointed me. I wasn't a huge fan of how it sat under my eyes, and this shade is way too dark for me. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pass this one along. It's not that old. I thought about keeping it to just like prime my eyelids, but it's really, the tone is really off for me, so I'm just gonna pass this one along. Next, I'm going to pass along the Tarte the Sculptor stick. I got this in a Sephora Favorites, like one of their big end of the year things, and I have never liked this product. It's very warm toned, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like I put it on, and it just disappears when I go to blend it in, so this is kind of a useless product to me. I'm also decluttering the Ulta Rainbow Highlighter. Now, I hauled this about a year ago, I want to say, and I think it was actually in one of my favorites videos. But honestly, I never ever reached for this. At first when I started wearing it, I thought, oh, this is really cool. I'll have all these different colored highlighters now that I can kind of experiment and play with. But when you mix them all together, it creates this kind of golden color, which is the way I would wear it most frequently. And I realized that color really does not suit my skin tone, so I'm going to pass this one on. I'm also going to declutter my Coastal Scents Revealed palettes. I have the Revealed 1 and the Revealed 2. And I don't know, I feel kind of sad decluttering these because I feel like these were one of the first couple palettes that I ever bought and used and loved so much, but I never reach them anymore, and I think there are better formulas at the drugstore at a lower price point than with these, so yeah, I'm going to pass these along. I'm also going to pass along this Rimmel liner. I think it's their Kohl Kajal liner, I believe, and mine's in the shade Nude. I feel like this nude is a little deeper than what I'd like it to be to really brighten up my waterline, and I feel like the staying power isn't that great, and I much prefer the ColourPop one that I have, so I'm going to declutter this one out of my collection. Next product is the Jordana Sculpt and Go, and I think I got mine in the shade Light. And I bought this about a year ago, and I really loved it when I first got it, but I've been using it lately, and I just feel like it's really not performing the same for me. Wherever I apply it, it just seems to take off my foundation, and I don't remember that doing it when I first bought this, so I don't know if it's expired or if I'm just applying it weird. I don't know, but I have an Anastasia cream contour kit, and I really like that, so I'm gonna pass this one along. With a heavy heart that I pass along the Pure X BoxyCharm palette. I feel kind of bad for passing along or decluttering this palette because I did just get it, and I don't know, I feel slightly like I haven't tried hard enough to make it work, but I also know that like these are just not the best formulated eyeshadows, so I'm going to pass this one along. The mattes are really dusty, they kind of blend away to nothing, and the shimmers have a ridiculous amount of fallout, like ridiculous. So I'm just going to pass this one along. I don't think it performs that great. I'm also going to pass along this Pixie Duo in the shade Lavender Bloom. It comes with kind of a taupey shade and then with a purple shade. It's a pretty little duo, but I don't really gravitate towards these colors, so I haven't gotten a lot of use out of it, so I really want to give it a new home and to someone who really is going to use it and love it, because the shadows aren't really bad. They're soft, they're pigmented, they're just not my cup of tea. This next product was such a fail. I don't know why I've held on to it so long. It's the NYX Build 'Em Up Brow Powder, and it comes in like a liquid liner bottle, and you pull it out here, and it has like this weird pointed applicator. I don't know. I did a whole video on this like last summer, I think, like a year ago. The tone of the brow powder isn't bad. I just despise the application method. It's right there. I despise the application method. It's not precise. It doesn't really fill in my brows that much, and I don't like this application method, and I can't really like shove my brush down in there to get the product, so I'm just going to declutter this one. I'm going to declutter like 2 mascara type products. The first one is L'Oreal Voluminous. Now, this gives me really big voluminous black lashes. I like the effect that it gives me, but it doesn't really help my lashes stay curled, and it doesn't last on me all day. It smudges, it gets all over the place. So I really only use this mascara when I'm doing like looks for Instagram or just playing around at night. Kind of when I'm just gonna wash my makeup off right away. It's not the mascara I reach for to last all throughout the day. So I'm gonna get rid of this one because of those reasons, and also it's kind of old. And then the other mascara type product is this Ulta Raincoat. It's a waterproof mascara top coat. I'm sure they've changed the packaging by now. I have another tube, which is also why I'm decluttering this one, because this one's old. But this is just a waterproof top coat. You can put on any mascara, makes it waterproof, makes it last longer throughout the day. And yeah, I think you can use this in your brows too, but I don't really like to use it that way because it kind of gets like tinted gray from like running through the mascara. But yeah, I'm going to declutter this one. I'm also going to declutter this single eyeshadow from Manakadar Beauty. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. And this is in the shade Fantasy. It's kind of like this pretty pinky taupe. I do like the shade, but I'm not getting enough use out of it. And I found a shade similar in my Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm going to pass this one along. There's a swatch of it right there. You also kind of have to build this shade up on the eyes to get it to really pop, so it's just kind of a meh product for me, so I'm trying to get all the meh products out of my collection, so I just have things that I really love and really enjoy. Alright guys, I think this might actually be the last product that I'm going to declutter today, and it is the Kors Lip Butter Glaze, and mine's in the shade, oh my goodness, it is a beautiful coral gloss, but for some reason, excuse the bite marks on the cap, my dog got a hold of it. It's a beautiful coral gloss. I love the shade. It's right there. My hand is totally covered in swatches, but the scent on this it's like a vanilla scent, but it's not a good vanilla scent. It always makes me feel nauseous when I put this on, so I'm not wearing this color even though I love the shade so much. So I'm gonna pass this one along. And that is it for today. Those are all the products that I'm decluttering from my collection, whether they're being passed on to friends or thrown out because they are just old and expired and need to be thrown out. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this series, the Curating My Collection series, please leave more requests for videos in this series in the comments below, or just any other video requests. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so very much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!